let's do watch this.
Okay.
Watch this. What? No,
am I the only one that watched a movie?
there are no movies anymore.
Hmm.
No, there are movies.
I watched
I watched 8-Bit Christmas. Did you guys watch that?
No, I saw that was a movie though.
Is it because you're Jewish?
It is. No, it's because Neil Patrick Harris is in it, and you know how I feel about that.
Why? He's delightful.
I don't know.
He's the best. He's like maybe the best.
What's your problem with Neil Patrick Harris?
I don't know.
I'm gonna fight you after the show. Meet me in the parking lot.
How is it?
It's cute. It's I mean, it is straight up.
I never heard of it.
A Christmas Story. It's
a retelling of A Christmas Story, but it takes place in the 80s as opposed to the
correct. It's
50s.
What if?
Sorry.
What if old people like us had a Christmas Story movie?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It's on HBO.
Oh,
the HBOs. So yeah, my worry with all of these like video game themed things, there's like, how pandering is it going to be? Like,
how pandering do you want it?
I don't want it to be that pandering, but I also don't want it to, I like the balance between it not being like wrong about video games, but also like not like super nerdy, I guess is the right balance that I'm looking for. And it made me chuckle a few times. There's some Power Glove type stuff. It's
why is it an 8-bit Christmas? Because it's like the plot revolve around buying like a hard to get video game console.
He wants a Nintendo.
Yeah, okay. He wants a Nintendo.
Wants a Nintendo for Christmas.
That's the plot.
It's similar. Think of the plot to a Christmas. What's the plot to a Christmas Story?
Right, he wants the Red Ryder BB gun.
Correct.
And the parents won't buy it.
Take the Red Ryder BB gun out, and you put the Nintendo right there.
But it's not like a cult classic like that, or an actual classic. Not even a cult classic.
It's a brand new movie.
I don't know. Extreme 74 in the chat says it was okay at best.
That's fine.
Shipwreck likes okay. He doesn't want anything too good. He doesn't want to get too excited over there about really anything.
It's a Christmas movie about.
But a Christmas Story was also a Christmas movie, but it was, it was something more than that.
What was it more than that?
It was a cinematic masterpiece.
It was.
I don't know.
The writer and director of Porky's.
Right.
I haven't watched it in
Christmas
20 years.
Story is like, here's the thing that's like slightly inappropriate for all the viewers.
Yes. That's why it was good. Of course. Now you understand. So is this slightly inappropriate for all the viewers?
Only in a couple areas, I think, and not nearly as much.
Okay. Well, that's
full frontal male nudity.
That's a mark against it.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
I only watch movies.
Nobody wore clothes the entire time.
Nice. It's like Hair the musical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cute. We liked watching it as a family.
It's all that matters.
Yeah, it had some references that made me laugh. I get those things. I recognize the things that they were talking about.
Cool.
What about all this TV crap that you guys have been watching?
So much TV to be watched. Yeah. Well, I bet you watched Tiger King season 2, right?
No, I have not watched it yet.
I thought you started it.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to.
Oh,
do I want to?
Well, first of all, here's a few things that it has going for it. I finished it. I finished the second season.
Okay.
It's short. It's like 5 episodes and you're out. Okay, which is nice. It was pretty compelling. It is good to see these crazy fuckers again. If you didn't remember, like this time, it's kind of like a new crazy fucker. I mean, he was in it last time. The guy Tim Stark, not Tony Stark. I think it's Tim Stark. Something like that. Tony Stank or something like that. He's like all these zoo animal tiger guys are all fucked up. And this guy's crazy and he acts crazy during the whole thing. It's pretty entertaining. I got to admit, it stops abruptly. I didn't realize there's only 5 episodes. And when the 5th one ended, I was like, oh, that's it. And now you're just waiting to sort of see what happens. I would say if you want to dive back in, you're probably not going to be disappointed. But you obviously had to watch the first season first. There's nothing.
Well, that I have. I watched season 1. Yeah.
Yes, you're not gonna know what's happening. But
I just feel like it would just like make me sad. And I didn't want. No. Okay.
No. I will say that the first episode, there's a lot of Trump in the first episode, and it got us thinking like, oh, is this whole thing going to be like? Because remember, like they tried to get Trump to pardon. Mm-hmm. It was a whole thing. So that's basically just relegated to the first episode, and it's actually pretty interesting. So you may be turned off to that. You're like, I'm not looking for like, I just want some different assholes. So you don't have to worry. It's just the first episode, and it was good. It was good. It was good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you watch the live action Cowboy Bebop?
We watched the first episode, but I have to say,
funny. I watched only the first episode, so we're in the same spot.
Have you ever watched any of the anime?
I've watched all of the anime.
No, you haven't.
100%.
It's
the only anime I've ever watched.
It was the big Adult Swim
really
show.
I watched it.
Everybody watched Cowboy Bebop.
In the late 90s, it was like the cool thing to do.
Oh, yeah,
I was in college at the time.
The theme song's on again.
Yeah, we all watched it.
Take a bong rip. The theme song.
All my friends watched it. It was a thing.
Okay, I hadn't that. That is something that we've learned. We can chalk that up. Seen every episode of Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Maybe Jeopardy. And
I don't know about every episode of Jeopardy.
But that's okay.
That's a little crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But Cowboy, how many? I didn't know that. Is there a lot of episodes of Cowboy Bebop?
No, I don't think so.
So what do you think? I mean, it doesn't matter what I think because I haven't seen anything.
I saw. I didn't hate it as much as a lot of other people seem to hate it.
Did it have the song?
It does have the song.
Okay, it's fine then.
It has a lot of
it's fine.
Jazzy
that song
music
plays.
In it.
Yeah,
it's like, all right,
and what's his face?
John Cho?
No, the other guy, the black guy.
Oh, you mean Jet Black?
Thank you, Jet Black. I don't know why I spaced on the name. Anyway, Jet
How
Black.
could you forget that name? Like I heard that name.
You know why? Know why? Because I'm building up to the. He's the guy who was your favorite character from Luke Cage. I'm the Bushmaster.
He's Bushmaster?
Yeah,
He's
I know.
A good actor. Wow.
I know. That's why.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Jet Black. Wow, it's a lot of makeup on.
I think it's literally just the chops. Give him
right.
just
wow,
make
that's good.
Give me he looks different. I know.
I gotta say
too. I had to look it up.
I mean, I like the look of it. It looked like it cost a lot of money.
Yes.
It looked pretty cool in some parts. Some parts it looked like it
John Cho was good in it.
He looks great with no shirt on. I gotta say, he's fucking ripped and he's kung fuing everything. But I gotta say, after watching My Name, the Korea Netflix series, which has at least one crazy fight scene in every episode, it's like watching children fight. It's just not, the impact is just so much less. I know like John Cho probably is not a martial arts expert, but, and it looks like, I don't know, the way it's filmed, it just does not, the fight scenes are not compelling compared to what we have in Shang-Chi or My Name, which is another Netflix series, which I would definitely recommend watching. So Mrs. Cheapy noped out. She's just like, it's not as good as My Name. And I want to see, but we finished My Name.
Okay.
So, yeah, Cowboy Bebop. I don't think we're going to be watching anymore, but you probably should watch it because then you can say you've watched all the Cowboy Bebop.
I'm like mixed on it. We'll see.
Okay. We also started watching Hit Monkey.
Is that any good?
It's on Hulu.
I know.
Do you know it's Marvel's Hit Monkey.
Yeah.
Is that pique your interest?
It's a Marvel show,
yes,
and it stars Jason Sudeikis as the voice of the Hit Monkey.
No,
basically, no, he's the ghost that possesses.
It's a very weird show. It's
weird.
About
a monkey that's possessed by a hitman that has to avenge his own death. Is that the basic plot line?
Not quite possessed, haunted, I would say. Yeah, he's haunted by it. And Jason Sudeikis is the ghost. Sudeikis. I don't know. How do you say it? Sudeikis. Okay. He's the ghost. It's animated, and there's a monkey who's a hitman, and he uses guns and swords, and he's in Japan. He's a Japanese monkey. George Takei is in it, does a voice in it as like a political figure, and I gotta say, like it's dumb. It's a little dumb, but it's also funny. Like Mrs. Cheapy, I don't hear Mrs. Cheapy laugh out loud when we watch a lot of stuff. Even like, yeah, it doesn't happen that often. But just the absurdity of like the monkey is just a monkey. So the monkey just, squeals at people. And the ghost is telling the monkey what to say. but the monkey can't talk. So the monkey just squeals and nobody understands him. It's very funny. I would say check it out. It's not like they haven't done like their homework on Japan and like there's a, you know, everyone's using like American idioms and things of that nature. And there's like some weird shit that, you know, it's not very authentic, but it's funny and weird. So I would check it out. It's on Hulu. They're 30 minutes long, the episodes. We like it.
You know, it's long, like really long.
My penis.
Besides that,
it's not.
The Get Back, the Beatles documentary.
That's the Disney Plus.
That is on the Disney Plus. It is, what is it? It's
8 hours.
8 hours. Let's say 7.5 hours long. I'm just trying to do some of the.
Did you watch all of it?
I watched all 8 hours of it.
You took it all in.
I took it all in. It was great. No, it took days. It took a few days, and I didn't even watch, like, it's broken up into 3 episodes.
Yes.
But it probably should have been broken up into hour-long episodes.
Okay.
Like,
you can do that on your own.
I basically did. So yes, that is how we watched it.
That makes sense to me. I want to watch this. I'll watch it.
I think you'll really like. It's very interesting.
I'm sure I like interesting things. I like the Beatles.
I could honestly talk about it for like an hour, but I'm like, how do I concisely say this without it being boring to people? It really does show you the birth of, like, how the Beatles literally birthed the song and finished the song. So if that's something that you're interested in learning about, especially when it's, you know, when Paul McCartney is sitting there and he's like, and this, I don't know what, maybe we try this, and he starts playing it. And then the next thing you know, he just wrote Get Back.
Yeah, I saw that little 2-minute clip.
Yeah, they show that. They've been showing that clip a lot. And there's other times where things like that happen, where it's like, it's literally like, oh, I was outside and I took a shit on the ground, and I thought I'd bring it in and show everybody, look, it's Octopus's garden. You know, and that's basically like every 20 minutes in that show, something like that happens. It was interesting to see, like, a lot of misconceptions that I think I had about the Beatles at that time, about who hated who and how little they even spoke to each other, or who was or wasn't talking to who. You know, the idea of Paul McCartney hating Yoko Ono, but you don't really get that at all. Actually, it seems like Paul and Yoko sort of get along. Like, you know, there's definitely tension there. I mean, I don't think anyone on the planet Earth hated the song The Long and Winding Road more than John Lennon. And I don't think anyone wanted to play that song more and more times in a row than Paul McCartney. Like, you get a lot of that kind of headbutting, but it's fascinating. I really loved it. There's the director of the documentary of the original show, and I think he's the real bad guy of the thing. That's my big takeaway. He's like, the Beatles are like, well, if we do a TV show, we should do it, and, you know, it could just be us playing and people may want to see that. And the director's like, no one wants to see that. They want to see you guys in Libya in an amphitheater made out of stone in front of 1,000 people with waves crashing behind you. You have to do something big. And the Beatles are like, ooh, we don't want to go anywhere. So, and the Beatles are right. That's the problem. And somehow people, I guess, another misconception of the time is that people would look at the Beatles and just be like, no, you can't do that. Sure, that's what you want, but you can't do. No, you have to do what we're telling you to do. And it's sort of interesting that those kind of things happened. And especially in hindsight, when you can see where they're right. They aren't always right, but where they are right. And it's where some
they had a pretty good track record.
Yeah, right?
I feel
seem to know what they were doing.
Yeah, I think they pretty much they had a good.
But
good
Michael Lindsay Hogg, I believe that's the name of the director, was like, because he had just done the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, which is a pretty ornate television special, which I also recommend watching. It's good. He wanted to do that, but with the Beatles. But the Beatles aren't that, if that makes sense. But and that's why part of why the whole thing sort of implodes. He was like, no one wants to watch you guys just play songs. And I'm sitting on my couch going, I do.
You weren't born yet, though.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. Anyway, that's the Beatles. Go watch it. It's long, but it's worth your time. Did anyone else watch Hawkeye?
Is that long and not worth our time?
The first episode is really good. The second episode is too long. and they're both
not
the same
enough
way.
Hawkeyes.
The second episode, I don't want to spoil it because you haven't seen it, but there's
No.
literally like a 20-minute chunk in the middle of that episode that should have been 30 seconds.
No arrows.
I mean, kind of. I don't want to like ruin the show.
Yeah, don't ruin it. I'm interested in watching that one.
Yeah. Like
I'm okay with Hawkeye.
It's perfectly fine, and actually there are things I'm excited to see more of.
As long as he's saving the world from like a cataclysmic event, I think we're good. Just
yeah, I mean, kind of. No, maybe. You know what? There's a big maybe on that. Actually, I'm going to put a big maybe.
Perfect.
It is possible. Who watched Arcane?
I watched the first episode.
How is it?
It's an anime based on League of Legends that doesn't really have anything to do with the game.
How was the voice direction?
Everything, I mean, it looks like they dropped a lot of coin on this. Like, it looks ridiculous. It's one of the best looking animated things out there. It's like, in fact, like all this animated shit that we mentioned, it's all like really good looking now. Like, remember, like there was a period of time where everything looked kind of cheap. Like they would animate stuff and you could tell like, oh, what are we like? We're doing like 5 frames now. Like, but now it's just everything looks, I mean, maybe just there's more money available for these shows because of the streaming services looking to get content, but everything looks like it costs a fortune.
Well, shout out to David Lyerly, the voice director of that game, who may be listening to this show at some point. He's an actual IRL friend of mine who he does all the voice direction for League of Legends. And
I could be in the next season.
Show.
Call me.
Yeah.
I could do a voice like
Twitter.
this.
He probably follows you on Twitter and you don't even realize it.
Oh, here, how about this voice? I say we let him go.
No.
All right. It's pretty, yeah, I will probably watch more of that. We're going to watch that and we'll watch Hit Monkey.
And I watched the second season of Masters of the Universe Revelations. And that's really good and totally worth your time. And I'm talking to you, Cheapy.
I'm not watching
I have
that.
Netflix now.
What?
Mrs. Shipwreck signed up for Netflix.
Yeah, because you're dumb. Why'd you cancel that shit? That was stupid. I knew you'd be back. I knew it.
I haven't paid for it for 18 months.
I
so
knew
I'm
it.
good.
You're back. You're back.
We had to watch the Christmas Chronicles movies. Are you familiar with those?
The Christmas Chronicles. No.
Yes. That's where Kurt Russell is.
That's the Kurt Russell one, right?
The Kurt Russell is Santa
There's
Claus.
more than one?
There's 2 of them. Yeah.
Okay. I know I watched the first one.
Not the Christmas Chronic starring Snoop Dogg and Method Man.
No. And it also stars
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn is Mrs. Claus. And the girl in it is the same girl that was in Clifford the Big Red Dog. So all
the makings
big
of a classic.
draws, yeah, in our house. But no, I can watch this Masters of the Universe now. My only question is like, it's rated PG.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation is this something like I can set Dashiell in front of?
Probably not.
You see Tila's breasts.
You don't, but there is some blood and there is real violence.
So we just watched the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. How does it compare to
Bully
that?
Maguire, you saw?
I would say you may be okay.
That's
I
Spider-Man
don't.
3.
It's fairly short. I don't know if you want to try maybe watching a little of it alone first.
Maybe I'll watch it alone first. That's fine.
I mean, I don't think you'll hate a rewatch of it, to be honest. And you could also like watch 3 episodes, then make up your mind, and then go in with them, and then But each episode's only like 20 minutes.
One last thing about Hit Monkey I forgot to mention. It is incredibly over the top, gory, and violent. Like decapitations, organs, people getting cut in half at the highest level of gore. Looks good though. Artistic. It's very artistic.
Good.